Hey, it's Kenji. I'm gonna cook some Sichuan food. So I'm making some fish-fragrant eggplant, some kung pao chicken, and some stir-fried cabbage with chilies and vinegar. I'm not going to do these start to finish. You know, I already have them all prepped. So I basically just wanted to show you how I pull once everything is prepped, how to pull together a real quick meal. There we go. All right. So, you know, the key to any good stir fry is you gotta have everything prepped. So 3 different dishes. I'm gonna start with the eggplant here. Get my wok nice and hot. This is the Power Flamer, by the way. I reviewed this a number of years back. It is you know, just a really nice outdoor wok setup. A little oil in there. This eggplant has already been pre-cooked, so I salted it and then I let it sit for a bit, and then I basically seared it until it gets nice and brown. Add into the wok, and then I've got in here garlic, ginger, chilies, scallion. We're just going to do a quick stir fry here. This is a brand new wok, the very first thing I'm cooking in it. Alright, I'm going to turn down my heat a little bit just before I add my sauce. My sauce, it's a combination of Shaoxing wine, soy sauce, sugar, vinegar, some liquid from the pickled chilies, and some gochujang, sorry, not gochujang, dovanjang, so fermented chili broad bean paste. Okay, looks a little bit thick, so I'm going to grab some of my water here. Oops. Thin it out just a tiny bit. So this eggplant I actually pre-cooked on my griddle, on my electric griddle. But you could, you know, do it, you could deep fry it. That's a very common way to do it. You can steam it. You could also cook it in the wok to pre-cook it. Okay, and I'm going to season with just a little bit of salt and MSG. I think we're done here. Finish it off with a little cilantro and scallions. All right. So now we're gonna get ready to go on to our second dish. So when I'm cooking out here, I like to have a bin like this, you know, a place where I can put all my empties as I go. Just a little bit of water to clean this wok off. So this wok, by the way, I told you it's brand new, so you know it hasn't really been seasoned. All I did with this wok was I heated it over the flame of the wok burner for a little while to make sure that the factory coating of mineral oil is off of it. But otherwise, there's no seasoning at all. You know, woks don't build up seasoning the way that, say, a cast iron pan does, because you're cooking at higher temperatures than you would on a cast iron pan. So really, the seasoning that you get on a wok is a sort of per use type seasoning. It's more about the black oxide that forms from the carbon steel, you know, from the reactive metal, as opposed to the layers of polymers that build up in, say, a Western style cast iron pan. All right, next we're gonna go on to the kung pao chicken. So I have my chicken pre-marinated. Once again, get my wok nice and hot. Add some oil in there. A little more. This is chicken thigh that's been marinated. Marinated in a combination of soy sauce, Shaoxing wine, a little oil, cornstarch, and salt and MSG. So you can see I'm doing this on this outdoor burner, and because of that I can use pretty high, you know, I can use a fairly large amount of chicken in here. This is a little bit over, this is about a pound of chicken. On a home burner, it's a little bit weaker than one of these outdoor burners. So what would end up happening if you tried to cook this much chicken at a time is that rather than stir frying properly like this, rather than searing like this, it would end up sort of steaming. And so, you know, the key to stir frying on a home burner as opposed to an outdoor wok burner like this is that you want to make sure you cook in batches. You know, so cook about maybe you know, depending on your home burner, you could do anywhere from probably a half pound, even down to a quarter pound of chicken at a time. And all you have to do is have a bowl on the side, you know, stir fry whatever amount of chicken you can cook without steaming it, transfer it to that bowl, and then repeat. You know, you reheat your wok, you clean out your wok, you reheat it, and you repeat doing that with every batch of chicken, adding it to that bowl until it's all done. And then you do the same with the vegetables. Whatever vegetables you're going to use, add them to that bowl until they're all done as they finish. And then at the very end, you can put everything right back into the wok and add the sauce. So you don't have to, you know, with a burner like this, we can go all at once. We're going to go start to finish, not taking anything out of the wok. But with a regular home burner, you will want to take things out of the wok. This burner, by the way, this is called the Power Flamer. You can order it online. You can either Google it, or I'll try and remember to leave a link, but if not, you can Google it. It is, I think it's 160,000 BTUs, I believe, something like that, which is about 10 times as much as a regular home burner can produce. By the way, this video, once again, is sponsored by Bombas. You know, Bombas, I got my first pair of Bombas slippers. My sister gave them to me for Christmas one year, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And I've loved them ever since. I now have the new set of Bombas slippers. But I only recently got introduced to their socks a couple months ago. But I've quickly found that they are also my favorite socks. You know, they are really nice and tight. They're compressive. They come in a few different shapes and sizes, a wide variety of colors. I got my nice pink ones and my green ones that I enjoy. And one of the really nice things about Bombas is that for every pair of socks that you buy, they donate a pair of socks to someone who needs some socks, because that is one of the number one thing that unhoused people are seeking, that they request is actually socks, surprisingly. They've also got a full lifetime guarantee, so whether your kid cuts them up for an art project, or you lose them in the laundry, or your animal eats them, if you lose a sock or if it gets a hole in it, they will replace it. And I don't know any other sock that can make that claim. All right, chicken's cooked, so now I'm going to add my aromatics. That's sliced garlic, slivered ginger, and some citron peppercorn that I just ground up in the mortar and pestle. Okay, and as soon as those are fragrant, I'm going to add my other ingredients. So here I've got sliced chilies, dried chilies, scallions, and peanuts. Those are roasted peanuts. If you really want to go out, you know, you can fry your own peanuts. You slow fry them in the wok. I have a recipe for that in my book, The Wok. But usually when I'm making this dish, I don't bother. I just use roasted peanuts that I buy from the store. All right, finally, we're gonna add our sauce. I'm actually making another batch of this later, so this is twice as much sauce as I need. But this is a combination of soy sauce, wine, Chinese rice wine, honey, and Chinese black vinegar, along with a little bit of cornstarch. So it's that kind of sweet and savory flavor combination. Both light and dark soy sauce I'm using there. I believe the recipe I published might only have light in it. You can get away with only light soy sauce, because light, you know, the soy sauce is really just about flavor. Light soy sauce, whereas dark soy sauce is what's used for color. But I'm using both here. All right. There we go. That is our Gongbao Jiding. So Chinese Sichuan diced chicken with chilies and peanuts. All right, we're gonna give this one last little wipe out. A little bit of deglazing. All right. When we recently moved off of the boat into this apartment, and in the move I lost my my bamboo wok brush, which is why I'm just kind of scraping it with a with my my wok spatula here. But typically I would use a wok brush to get it really nice and clean, but I'm not too concerned in this case. All right, final dish we're making is this stir-fried cabbage. All right, oil in. I've got some diced cabbage, a couple of dried chilies, got some garlic and ginger here. Give that a real quick stir fry. The goal here, we're aiming for, you know, sort of tender crisp. You know, when you're stir frying, what's happening is that you are sort of constantly trying to promote evaporation. You know, that's what the whole point of the tossing is, that you really want to promote evaporation so that your food stays dry as it cooks, as opposed to, you know, stewing in its own juices here. All right, we're just at that point. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of vinegar. This is a Chinese Xinjiang vinegar. A little pinch of salt and MSG. And finally, just a tiny bit of a real tiny bit of a cornstarch slurry, just enough to give it a sort of glaze. All right. And I think that'll do it. So, 3 real simple dishes. You know, once you have your ingredients prepped, it all goes really, really fast, and we end up with 3 delicious dishes. Let me go grab some chopsticks too. All right, so we got our fish-fragrant eggplant, so called because the seasonings used in here are ones that you would use for fish, not because the eggplant tastes like fish. Garlicky and sort of pickly, a little spicy, delicious. Let's try our Kung Pao chicken. This is one of my favorite dishes of all time. Kung Pao chicken is never too spicy, but some amount of heat from those dried chilies, and then it's got the smokiness from the wok. That sort of really nice citrusy, a slightly mouth-tingling flavor from the Sichuan peppercorns. And then finally our cabbage. Lots of wok hay. Nice and smoky. A little bit of a vinegar flavor. Delicious. All right. That's how I pull together a quick meal once the prep is done. Everything is real quick on the wok. All right, guys, gals, non-binary pals, we're gonna go eat. Bye.